Okay, here we go. Third episode. Let's continue from where we left off yesterday. I remember what we were doing, but we'll figure it out, I suppose. Okay, yeah, we just saw Miss Charm, so it's time to carry on from there. We were building gravestones, so I think I have to install this one, because we need to get our rating up. So let's see what we got. We need to build a fence or two as well, because we need that church open by next time. Here we go. Grave. Kind of wish, let's see, I guess I could get rid of it. It should be enough actually to open up the church. So there we go. Okay. So now I have a quality of 6. That'll give me enough to open up the church next Sunday. So here we go. Let's probably fix that. Okay, we were in the middle of this. Now, if you notice, we're pulling out these sin shards here. Oh my goodness, this body's awful. I might just throw this one in the... Well, we'll see what we can do with it. Put it out here. This is where we're gonna be building our location for burning corpses, but the problem is I can't actually do that until I get 5 blues, which I can't get right now, so there's a big problem there. There's no real way for me to get it until I get the church open, so I guess I can wait, but it will basically lock me out of getting more bodies, as my current count is maximum. So if your current count of bodies is maximum, the donkey's just not coming. You notice right now it says bodies 1 out of 1, top right hand corner there, so I'm pretty much locked in right now. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna harvest some plants, because they give me greens and I'm kind of lacking on greens right now. Plus they can make food, and food can help me not. I have to go to bed all the time. Also, I did get the ability to get bees, or honey, I should say. So let's go ahead and get some of that. Take this up, get the greens. This gives me a lot. I always need to be watching out for things like that. I've always really liked this game. I thought that it was a clever take on the cozy game genre. One that I could definitely get behind more. Mainly because, like, most of the time when I play cozy games, like, they get kind of... I mean, all cozy games eventually stop having... Oh, dear me, I pulled a flower. Stop being the funnest things in the world, but, I mean, I always think that you can come back to them, so... But I think a lot of times, if you're not really keeping up on your cozy games, they just kind of fall out of existence. Like, you can play this game for like hours upon hours upon hours, right? But then, like, towards the end, like, you just kind of want to make a new one after a while. Go through the whole system again. It may seem weird, but I think the reason why I feel that way is because, like, you just get so bored with the game you're playing. You've kind of reached a peak at that point. You're just kind of doing the same things over and over and over. And I kind of like to see the progression. And when, you know, a game gets to the point where you're not really progressing anymore, it starts to become stale. And, well, at least that's how I feel. I don't think everyone feels that way, but it's just how I feel about it. I have a honey tree over here. Also, if you notice right now, when I harvest honey, I get a red bar over my head because the bees actually will get you a bit. So you take a little bit of damage from getting honey, and I think that can be solved through technology. You know, through here. Yeah, see, you can eventually become a bee friend. You don't get hurt anymore. But it's very much outside of the realm of anything we can do about it. So, oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, still can't write. We gotta talk to the not the lighthouse keeper, the astrologer, when we get a chance, so that we can get the writing ability to write. Let's see, what am I trying to do here? You chop up this because it's completely worthless. Gives me a couple. Throw it into this fireplace. Odd numbers of fuels can have a pain in the rear, so it's better to have something better than that. Okay, so there we go. Got the mushrooms cooking. Those would be nice. Let's go ahead and put this other things in here. Put that down there for now. Eventually this whole thing will open up all these paths and it'll be much easier to move around, but we are not even close there yet. Yeah, let's go into town and go talk to the merchant real quick. Now you can, there's always an option for you to be like really rude to any NPC in this game, kind of. I normally don't choose those sort of options, mainly because it just makes things a little bit harder and then you have to apologize anyway, so just do it right the first time. Hopefully I'll be able to see him before time's up, and we'll see what happens. I really should get that teleport stone, but I just am missing so many things right now. Okay, back to town. So this is where the merchant sits. Right now he's got the hiccups. Yeah, honestly, I think I like the merchant probably best. So we can scare him to get rid of his hiccups. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we can talk to him about the garden. So he needs to discuss terms with him. Oh, and by the way, sometimes now that I have the writing perk, I'll get messages or like little notes from people, stories as it is, which will come in handy with writing, but that's okay. It's a valuable commodity. So he wants me to pay 10 gold. Obviously, I don't have that. I don't have that either, especially at the start of the game. And honestly, he is like the #1 way to make money, so... Yeah, sure. So, there we go. 12 carrots, 12 cabbages, 12 beets. So... every single time he's going to have hiccups, and we'll find out that he's definitely cursed. But anyway, you can buy stuff from him. We're going to need to buy a lot of silk. This is the only place to get silk, so obviously we can buy one now, but it's completely pointless. We won't even get anything out of it. We'll also be buying a lot of gold from him eventually, and you might think, wow, that's 50 silver, you only got one. Yeah. You need to make a lot of money in this game, so eventually you need to figure that out. Merchant's best way to make money in the beginning of the game, but it's still going to take me quite a while. We also have the ability to eventually start making a tavern, and at the tavern we'll be able to make just make a bunch of alcohol at our house. Whoops, I forgot. I skipped the farm. And once we have all those things for sale, people come, they'll buy it, and it'll make us a lot of money there too. But that's a ways down the line. We haven't even started, because we're going to have to upgrade seas and all sorts of things. So right now we're just going to talk to Farmer. Yeah, he's kind of bitter. Oh, nice. I didn't realize he's going to give me some. Okay, so we're going to need seeds. You need 4 seeds to be able to plant one thing. I'm just going to buy some carrots right now because carrots are definitely the most important in the long run. When I plant these, it won't actually. Maybe I should wait on these. Yeah, just get them. Because normally you don't even get 4 seeds back, which is always a pain. You need to use pretty good fertilizer to do that. But I mean, we need to start buying stuff from him to unlock his higher tiers. You notice people have tiers of stuff that you can buy from him. As we continue to buy things from him, those tiers just get higher and higher. So, and we need to unlock his higher tiers to be able to grow the good stuff. Stuff that makes me money. Let's see, do I have... I don't. I should probably get that. That's a lot, though. Let's just get it. Let's get this while we're here, too. Okay. So we can build a trunk here. We can build a compost heap. We need more sticks, though. We got plenty of sticks, so we'll grab some. But we're going to need this compost heap to make us just all the fertilizer, so let's actually build 3. Now, when you're planning out your garden here, these 6 areas right here are all going to eventually become zombie gardens. We'll have workers make those for us. So, you kind of fill out the stuff on the far left. Is probably the best place for it. Of course. Okay, so let's go back home and fix that up. Here we go. Okay, so now I have my first one of those. Those give me greens. Let's make all of them then. Okay, so we got our 3 compost heaps. When I was a kid, we actually did have a compost heap. Crazy stories, but yeah, we had quite a large little garden area. It wasn't very small, it was quite big. And we used that quite heavily, so we obviously get a lot of need for compost and stuff like that. So since we didn't live too far from someone who actually owned horses, we'd actually just go over there. And basically get horse manure from them. We take all our biodegradables and we put them into this giant compost heap, and you have to turn it all the time. But it would actually make really good soil. You get a bunch of insects and stuff in there, and they just change it right up for you. It's actually pretty a unique experience just watching stuff like that actually happen. My grandpa was a big time farmer as well. He was really good at it too. Had several different businesses that had to deal with farming. Gosh, where's that guy? But anyway, yeah, so during the summer times when I was a kid, we'd go out and actually visit him. We actually lived quite a ways away at the time. It was actually pretty fun. We'd see all the different things that were out there, be able to just see Grandma and Grandpa, see how they lived. Grandma, even to this day, Grandma still, if you go to her house, she'll just make you food, whatever you want to eat at the time. It really really love being able to go out there. I remember one time I just like showed up randomly to Grandma's house just because I was driving through, and as soon as I got there, she just made me a meal like right away. I should really go visit her more, especially now that she's getting quite old. I don't mean that to be rude or anything, she just is. Yeah, but when I was a kid, I used to go out with Grandpa to go do farming things. I remember, and this may not be fun for all the Pepsi people, but Grandpa, he was a die-hard Coke guy. So he would always get you a Coke, and then we'd go out and to work in the fields and stuff. Learned how to ride a horse out there. Actually, my cousin showed me how to do that, but they live not too far away from Grandma and Grandpa. Matter of fact, now that Grandpa's gone, my cousins actually run the place. I think my grandma's even sold it to him over time, so yeah, that's great. I'm glad my cousins have that the ability to do that. I don't know personally if I could do all the hard farm work, and it's not even because it's hard. It's because I have terrible seasonal allergies. I don't know who had the funny idea that I should get those for the rest of my life, but it is what it is. It's honestly quite annoying. I think that's actually why I got into gaming so much. Because like when I was a kid, going outside would normally result in me getting all sorts of hives all over myself, and eventually ended up with me. I remember several times when I was a little boy in school, my eyes got so swollen they'd like swell shut, and I'm sure that had a little bit to do with my own personal desire to not be in school, which is kind of funny. Now I work at a school, but at the time it was just a bit of a silly thing. I'd rub my eyes till they swelled shut and then I'd go home. A really lame way to get out of going to school, to be honest. You should just go to school. There, it's a wood rack. Okay, let's see. What should I do now? Time's still passing, so we'll just actually saw up some wood. No reason to do anything else. Maybe make some nice outlines for our grades, I should say. Because I think, yeah, you need a polished wood plank, a wooden plank. I shouldn't say polished wood. That's factually incorrect. So here. Yeah, so right now we're eating mushrooms. Later we'll eat other things, but we'll eventually settle on honey. Honey, once I have a big honey farm up, it's really hard not to justify just basically making a giant, just getting honey from the honey farms. I wish these gave me blues, but it's not going to. Okay, well, we're done for the day. I'm out of food. I don't think I can cook more. So now, fun fact, I've actually been working building house stuff. So my dad, he was a construction worker for a large part of my life. He does other stuff now, but he was pretty good at it, and so he was always very handy around the house, and because of that, you know, just some of the fun, nice things that he said to me, I took those things and, you know, really kind of tried to learn his craft a bit. Didn't go into construction. When I was a little kid, I think that's what I thought I wanted. But as I grew older, it's just like, nah, I don't want to do construction for the rest of my life. Mainly just because, you know, you see what your parents go through, especially my dad. he worked really hard on that, but even though he was working so hard, it's like it wasn't making much difference. Just building new houses. And, you know, I just wanted to do something else. Originally, fun fact, I was actually going into paramedicine, which I think would have been a very fun and fulfilling sort of life situation. The reason why it didn't work out, though, is just because my wife wanted me home and every night. And I don't know if you know this, but sometimes you just start at the station for like 48 hours, and then if someone calls out sick, you're just never there, never home. And my wife said that that was pretty unacceptable. So I took her word for it and just decided to go do something else. Oh, I need to go talk to the guy today. So let's go up to Witch Hill. We'll talk to him, then we'll come back home, and I think that'll be the end of our day. But anyway, so yeah, I used to ride around in ambulances and stuff. Gosh, I got a lot of stories from there. Not that I'll tell them to you, because I'd hate for someone here to actually know who I'm talking about, because that's a very serious violation. But I mean, I could probably tell you a few stories. I will tell you, just, you know, definitely be careful out there, especially when you're in a car. Wear your seatbelts, kids. Yes, this guy's very much wants to burn all the witches. And it kind of makes sense when you learn more about his backstory, the sort of things that go on with him. So we need to make flyers, we need to make firewood. You can ask about the other half we created here too. So once we get to a certain state, we can use the other half. We just have to bring the firewood. There are the flyers, and he'll let us use the other part of the. It's called. Also, fun fact: you can actually go here, and you actually get marble, and that unlocks. I was gonna want to show you some stuff down this hill. So this old house here is quite interesting. There's a grave here that you can dig up as well. We're gonna get over. We'll eventually open up. You'll notice there'll be a little path over here. We'll eventually open up the low path, where is it? Right here, which will allow us to get through. We don't have the stuff for it yet. We can't even make the complex iron parts. Then we'll start building basically a not a graveyard, a vineyard here. Yeah. And then once we have our vineyard, that's when we start being able to make alcohol for a tavern. So it's a ways away, but well, let's give Gary his beverage. I need to stop carrying that around all over the place. He's going to lament that he can't taste it. I don't know why his skull thought that he could taste it. It's a very interesting idea. By the way, I'm asking all these questions because I'm trying to unlock things. I thought he was going to unlock something for me. Guess not. Okay. Let's get out of here. So I need to give him a bottle of wine, but I can't even make wine yet. I don't even have seeds. It's long way off, unfortunately. Just go to bed. Okay. Honestly, this is a pretty good stopping spot, so I'll stop there for the day. Anyway, have a good day.